Welcome to Midnight Slumber. I am your host, Zach Miller. Join me as we take a journey through the alternate realities that take place after midnight. This week, we have a story about a family who has a night out on the town that turns out to be very dangerous. This story is full of adventure and some mischief. Enjoy the story called Family Thieves. The moon barely lights up the night sky as the clouds slowly creep over us. The light, fading out every few minutes, blocks our ability to see. However, the darkness from the clouds also gives us an advantage as we quietly move across the metal and glass rooftop. We're dressed in all black ninja outfits. Even our eyes have a black cloth covering them to keep us hidden. The bottoms of our feet are covered in a sticky material. This material allows us to traverse across the slanted glass on top of this roof. The building we are climbing on looks like a giant rose getting ready to open. We are close to the top. There is a small flat surface that will allow us to cut our way through the glass into the building. We have a problem. A small camera up ahead is watching the rooftop. We, fortunately, have been moving in a pattern consistent with the camera, so we haven't been spotted yet. We duck behind the small power unit blocking the camera's view of us. My partner, who happens to be my wife, reaches into her small black bag and pulls out a tiny metallic device. The night sky is quiet. So quiet, we can hear the whining sound of the camera, which is a good 30 feet away. My wife presses down on the small device, lighting up a tiny red light. The camera goes quiet. As another big cloud passes over us, I slowly peek my head over and see that the camera is no longer functioning. The record and infrared lights on it are off. It's now facing down towards the city, away from us and our future entrance. We maneuver around our hiding spot and up a few more feet until we reach the flat top of the building. Looking down through the glass, I can see the object we need to get. A bright orange light illuminates the subject. We will have to lower ourselves down 100 feet to reach it. I pull out a long, thin metal rope while my partner cuts open a small hole in the glass with a laser. As the glass starts to fall, I manage to catch it with the anchor spike on the rope. The glass is heavy, designed to withstand bullets and explosions. It takes both of us to pull the glass up and set it aside. We use the laser to melt the heavy glass into place. It helps keep it from sliding off the building and as a way to help anchor our rope. Looking down into the building, I can see that the robotic police are roaming the halls. I wait as the two guards slowly make their way out of the room. I know we will only have about 10 minutes before these guards will come back. I grab hold of the rope and loosen my grip just enough to allow myself to slide down. As I descend, I can see that all the cameras in the building have been disabled. Even the laser system designed to reflect and bounce around this room is no longer working. This giant glass room is beautiful with the moon's light reflecting all around. As I get close to the bottom, I see beautiful paintings of all kinds scattered across the gray walls. In the center of this room, where the bright orange glow is coming from, is a metallic deer head, which we have come to take. The deer head is encased in a giant glass globe with orange lights that monitor the glass for any disturbances. I gently step onto the ground as I reach the end of the rope. I wait and give my partner a hand as she passes me her bag before stepping down onto the floor. We lay the bag down and pull out what looks like a small pumpkin with a hole for where the face should be. I flip the switch on its back, and it sends out an orange light onto the glass and the deer head. The pumpkin begins to hum with a low vibration. A small, thin beam of orange begins to slice through the glass like a laser, but instead of cutting a hole, it creates a portal for us. My partner slides on a special orange glove and sticks her hand in, pulling out the deer head, which is about the size of a basketball. Once the deer head is out, I flip the pumpkin off and the portal closes, but the orange reflection of a deer head stays inside the globe, tricking the sensors into thinking it is still there. I put the pumpkin away and hold back a shout for joy as we have successfully retrieved the item. We set the deer head down on the ground and slowly turn each horn until we hear a click. Then, we slowly rotate the neck in the opposite direction of the head. Once that clicks, we press down on the nose, pushing it in until it clicks as well. A low hissing sound and steam come from the head's eyes as it begins to unfold, revealing a small pistol that looks like it came out of an old sci-fi movie. My partner squeals with joy and relief, kissing me as she says,
"We can finally keep our son and daughter safe."
I tell her to lower her voice, but it's too late. The mechanical cops come stomping in. They are massive and blocky, standing 10 feet tall and made out of thick iron and steel. They are not fancy in any way, but old and outdated. Still, they are like tanks, almost impossible to stop. They come rushing forward at us with their big red eyes and giant steel bats in hand. A loud zap and whirling sound comes from behind me. The robots freeze in their tracks, trapped in a red laser netting. They power down before they can finish sending out their distress call for backup. I turn to look behind me, and through her mask, I see the surprised look on my wife's face. The sci-fi looking gun glows red and fades into a deep blue as it powers down. We shout for joy, immediately picking up our things, rushing past the robots and down the hall towards the hotel building. The hallway is short, lit by the yellow light coming from the hotel glass doors ahead, and still, all the cameras are down. The doors automatically slide open, and as we enter into the 10th floor's hotel lobby, we stumble into an enormous show that is taking place. Acrobats are flying high between the open floors above us. Lions and tigers jump through the flaming hoops, and clowns ride around on motorcycles, shooting balloon animals into the crowd. People cheer and shout at the performances. We try to sneak through the backstage, around the other performers getting ready to make their stage presence known, when I hear a robot move behind us. Clearly, it spotted us as it speaks.
"Performance passes, please."
Without turning around, we make a run for it. My wife fires but misses, trapping a ballerina onto a cannon. We have to make it back to our room and get our kids out of here so that we can be safe. Let me take a minute to explain why we stole this in the first place. My family is the last set of humans left on Earth. The audience that is cheering for these performers are aliens from another planet. They look similar to us, but have bright purple skin and mouths full of razor-sharp teeth. They're not very bright, but they are ravenous and out-multiply our race 10,000 to 1. We were their original food source, and considering we are what's left, we would be a delicacy that they haven't tasted in years. This gun will help us to disable their robots and allow us to access one of their ships, so we can escape to the Andromeda Galaxy where there is a supposed safe haven for us humans. Now, back to us fleeing for our lives. We stumble down the hall, which has a painting of these creatures conquering our world, and the worlds before it. Thankfully, they seem to be stuck to a small section of this galaxy. Making a right turn at the elevator, I tell my wife to go on and get the kids, that I will distract them and meet them at the ship nearby. I hand over the rest of our supplies, and she ducks into the room where our kids are, and locks the door with the gun in her hand. I take off left, going past where we came from, so that I can lead them away from our room. The robots see me and pick up speed. They begin rolling down the hallways rather than walking. They are catching up fast, so I pull out my grappling hook from my back and leap from the lobby balcony. I toss the hook, and it catches a few floors below. I fall 5 stories before the rope tightens and flings me into the 5th floor. I duck and roll, avoiding getting hurt from the landing. However, when I stand, my mask falls off, and the aliens around me take note. Their dark yellow eyes widen, and their mouths begin to water as their teeth, sharp as great white sharks, shine at me as their smile grows. I bolt, giving them no time to step towards me. I slam my hand into the nearby elevator button, and the doors open immediately. I step in, and the doors slam shut as I press the button to take me to the 12th floor. The elevator slowly goes up, which gives me time to access the security panel. I pop the panel open and plug in a small device no bigger than my watch. I run through the code and make it look like the elevator is going down instead of up. I quickly rewrite some of the security on the first floor. This change causes the alarm to signal that I am running through the halls down there. The doors open, and everything I have done has worked, as this floor is empty. As I step out onto the 12th floor, I see a robot command terminal sitting open. One of the maintenance guys must have left this open when he heard the alarm for a human going off. The hunger must have caused him to abandon his station. I plug the small device into it, hoping I can reprogram a couple of them for our benefit. It takes a few seconds longer than I would like, but it works. 2 security bots come to the floor I am on, and one of them hands me my mask. I throw it on, and they bust the doors to the roof open for me. I rush out and see the other robots on the roof tied up in the red netting. My wife sees me and shouts for me to join them. She lowers the entrance bay on the massive dark green ship. The robots I reprogrammed stand guard by the door to the roof, making sure no aliens arrive until we have left. I run up the metal steps and embrace my son and daughter, picking them both up in my arms. They smile and laugh, happy that I have made it aboard. My wife presses a button, closing the ramp behind me. She runs to the pilot's seat, and we strap in as the ship slowly lifts off the roof before blasting off into space. Behind us, I see the Earth slowly fade into nothing as we head off to our new home. Thank you for listening to tonight's episode. Please leave a comment and check out our social media on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. We would love to hear your thoughts on tonight's episode. I'm your host, Zach Miller, and thanks for listening. Have a good midnight slumber.